Yeah. Oh, can you hear me okay? My sound is really... Oh, got me okay, yeah? Okay, cool. Right, I hope everyone is well. Welcome back. And second week. As you jump on, guys, just make sure you unmute for me. I'm super excited. I know we've been putting this off for the last few weeks, and I do apologize. It's just been a little bit crazy. I'm just going to change my view so that I can see you all. Amazing. Hopefully that doesn't change the view for you guys. That's just for me that I've just changed that. So, and I am spotlighted, she says. Let me just check. Right, so I'm excited. I'm excited to go into week 2. In week 1, we discussed so much, and we talked about like different platforms that you can use. We talked about different types of content you can make, and really how to find that target audience. Can I just ask in the chat, tell me below, who that have been given a go and been, you know, applying some of the things that you've learned. What has the impact been? I would love to hear whether any of you have had any real epiphanies, any real like, oh my God, like this has been a game changer. Be honest as well, if you haven't really put anything into practice from, you know, the training, tell us below. Like I'm interested just to sort of hear whether you feel like maybe views have gone up, maybe you feel like you're actually talking to an audience for a change. Like, have we got any feelings around it? I know some of you have had some real positives. I mean, or you're welcome to unmute if anybody wants to just jump off mute and be like, yeah, this has happened. It's been great. Views have doubled. Amazing, Emma. That's amazing. Reels have doubled. Views have doubled. Love that. Views have definitely increased. Great stuff. I know, Kelly, I know you've had some really positive stuff. Streaming issues the first week, so not had a chance to catch up. That's fine. No problem at all. Instagram isn't as scary anymore. Yeah, definitely, Claire. Huge difference. Talking the interactions, better get more views on Reels. Amazing, 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 amazing. Okay, this is a good start because look, this isn't going to be for everybody. This week is going to be some stuff that you can take forward to Instagram, but it's also going to be stuff that's going to really help you for Facebook, your Facebook customer groups, emailing, all sorts. So we're going to be talking about telling your story and telling a story. And I'm also going to talk to you through the different pillars of different content that you can make when you're creating that brand. And I'm going to talk to you about an umbrella, okay? And you're going to be like, umbrella, what's she talking about? But it will make sense. So I am hoping at the moment you have just started posting more content in your niche to your audience, to people that you're thinking like they are going to be my target customer, right? They're going to be my target person that I am aiming. I've done a pivot this week into, because I did some real soul searching, and I really hope that this is going to help you. I did some real soul searching and was like, right, I feel like I'm making so much different content. There's not really any kind of like, I suppose, pattern to it, if you like, and it felt a little bit like all over the shop for me. So I did some soul searching and I said to my mum, if you had to say that there was an area that I was an expert in, apart from Scentsy, because obviously I do all right in that realm. I said, what would you say it is? And my mum's first response was fitness and sport and diet, like as in like healthy eating habits and around that realm. Because I used to run many moons ago, I think I told you this last week, a program called Yummy Mummy Eats Clean. And there are people possibly in here or in my team that have done that program before. And it was a program that I used to run. I had like a healthy eating program that I used to sell. And I was one of those people, but that didn't do any shakes or nothing like that. It literally was a program that I wrote, all the recipes I created. And then I asked my best friend, and I said to her, right, I need to ask you this question. And she said exactly the same thing. And I was like, I'm missing a trick. Because if I can find a way to merge my, I suppose, my expertise with Scentsy, becomes a bit of a freak flag, because how you fit home fragrance and fitness and healthy eating together is beyond me. I haven't quite worked that bit out yet. But it's made me realize that I have something to offer that is educational. It's a story. So I've kind of started to pivot my content. So in case you're thinking, well, hold on, you've been doing something completely different this week. That's why and hopefully that makes a little bit of sense to some of you guys. But hopefully that might also give a light bulb for some of you that are like, actually, because there are some of you that, as I said last week, have been on weight loss journeys. Like I know you're on tonight, and I know that you've coming up, it's been really like big stepping out your comfort zone, talking about your weight loss journey. But I also know that you're the expert on your weight loss journey. So I couldn't tell you how you did that, what you did, what sort of things that you did, and all of that jazz. The mental health side of things that you've gone through, the impact it's had on your confidence. You are the expert on that. So when you start to create content on that, one, it becomes very comfortable to make the content. Not comfortable. Comfortable is the wrong word. It becomes easier to make the content. But also the second thing is it's, and I'm talking about easier as in like, it's more natural because you can easily talk about it. It's not, you're not having to be like, okay, I've got to wear a certain outfit today to put that on, or I've got to go and walk my dog today, or I've got to go out for a walk today because I've got to make like I'm looking at Katie. I know that you're on here, Katie Vale, and I know that you make hats, and that is your realm of expertise. For me, I'm like, that is your realm of expertise. That's if you can merge that with Scentsy, your Instagram account will absolutely frigging blow up if you're happy to merge the two, obviously. But it would because you're going to get people into your realm of like, magic where you are teaching about your expertise. So that's just something that's just food for thought for you. Okay, that is sort of hopefully that will get you thinking. However, within that, hopefully lots of you have been just practicing posting reels and getting content. Call it throwing spaghetti at the wall. It's a Jackie Richards term, and I love it. It basically you create content and you see what sticks. What gets the most engagement? Some of you will probably be like, well, my dog got the most engagement, not anything else, but my dog got the most engagement. Or it might be that something got the most engagement that you absolutely would never. And tell me in the chat if that's the case. Like I've had things blow up. For example, me telling Mike that I had 0 miles of petrol. If you've seen it, that reel has had something ridiculous, like nearly 70 comments on it. It's had something like 8,000 or 9,000 views. I didn't get any new followers or anything from it, but what it has created with my followers, I would say, is with my current followers, is connection. And the amount of people that messaged me and said, why? Or, oh yeah, I'm that person. I'm always on 0 miles. I don't like getting petrol. And then I stood at football and it created a conversation and we talked about why women don't like getting petrol. So it created like this whole, that's a connection piece. And I'm going to talk about that tonight a little bit more. However, that one definitely blew up for me. So you might find that you've got certain content that you made that you wasn't expecting to get like this realm of like connection, but it did, because that's the surprise in Instagram. There's no logic to it. I will say that it is a bit of a lottery. I think Instagram's a lottery. But that's because I'm still working it out with you guys. I'm not an expert, as I say. I put oil in my car, messed it up, and people are still approaching me about it now. I love that, Katie. Did you put oil in your car? It messed your car up. Oh, I don't love that. I don't love that for you. But I bet that it definitely brought some engagement in, I can imagine. People are always interested in stuff like that. Okay, so in terms of your umbrella, this is what I want you to now start to think about. And this is where it gets a little bit more challenging, I would say. Your umbrella is, I actually drew a little picture of it. So my umbrella, for example, is around the realms of your pillars that we talked about. Home fragrance is the main umbrella, right? Whether we like it or not, the offer that we are trying to sell people is wax warmers, oils for diffusers. That is where, like, if you think about it, that's what we want from this. I mean, it's wonderful that we might be getting engagement on oil in a car or me having no miles of petrol, but the end goal is hopefully to sell more wax and warmers, to find people that might want to join our team, to build more connections through that create trust. Okay, to be able to not just have a Scentsy business, that if Scentsy closed tomorrow, that you would still have an Instagram account that people were coming to you and saying, oh yeah, but that's that girl that drives with 0 miles of petrol. I've got to see what she's posted today. Like that's what we're trying to create here. Okay, under the main umbrella that home fragrance is the end goal. Okay, so what I want you to start to think about this week as we go into your content, if you like, is how do we sprinkle Scentsy into your your niche is, because by now, hopefully some of you have started to work out that your niche might be, as I said to Emma, is, you know, it might be a weight loss journey. It might be making hats. It might be a mental health journey. It might be that you haven't really got a journey at the moment and it's more like lifestyle type content that you're creating, which is absolutely fine because we are lifestyle content creators, in my opinion. However, in that umbrella, we have got to bring it back to Scentsy. So this is what I want you to think about this week. How can you sprinkle Scentsy, not into all, but into some of your posts? So if I just share with you a few things that I do, sometimes I do like a day in the life content. Come with me to go to the gym and spend a day with me. And in that day, at some point, I will do lots of other things, but there will be a wax change that goes on within that. Okay, or there might be me turning a Scentsy warmer within that. It's not all about Scentsy, but it could be about cleaning my kitchen. It could be about taking my kids to school, walking the dog, and then I come home and I sprinkle some Scentsy in there by smelling the Scentsy. So that's just one example. Okay, it could be when I do my fitness type content, my thought process behind it is more like, come with me when I come home from the gym, how or ways that I unwind when I come home from the gym. Turn on my Scentsy warmers, have a soak in the shower, have a stretch at home, for example. That might be just that was very like throwing that out there very, very quickly. But you can see how you can sprinkle Scentsy into the content that you're doing. It doesn't have to be, today we are doing a wax change and it just about that. It could be, there's a lady called Alex by Design. She's got double X and she is a sales director, I believe, who I've been messaging this week. And she does a lot of like, every sort of 4 or 5 posts, she will do like a video where she's zooming into an oil diffuser. And the actual written content, the hook over the top of that, is nothing to do with oil diffusers and fragrance, but it might be a quote, for example, to make people feel good. It might be a little bit of content about her weight loss journey or how she's feeling on that day. So this is what I want you to start to think about, rather than making just, it's almost like the subliminal selling. Does that make sense? We all know what I mean by subliminal selling. It's selling without selling. You know, like when 2 years ago we would have said to you, post a picture of your dinner with your Scentsy warmer in the background, or your kids with your Scentsy warmer in the background. That's subliminal selling. We're showing the product without saying, buy me now, buy this warmer. And that's kind of what we're aiming to do. How many of you have bought, this is just one example, a mascara or a skincare product because you've watched somebody do a get ready with me and they're not selling you the product, they're just putting on the products and you're like, oh, now what's that lip gloss that you're wearing? And they give you the name of the lip gloss and before you know it, you've gone and bloody bought it and you're 20 quid down, right? That's being influenced without necessarily actually being sold to. And that's the aim of the game. Okay, the offer is to bring Scentsy in there. Yes, we want to make these connections. Yes, we want to show our lifestyle a bit behind the scenes. We want to sell to people like what we do, to show them it's not just all work. Because if you only post Scentsy stuff 7 days a week, people are going to think that's all you do. And that's not going to, that wouldn't sell it to me. Okay, if I was now looking in as somebody looking in, I want to see like what they do behind the scenes. You did that to me. I bought the Charlotte Tilbury foundations. Freaking love that one. That is, I wear it every day. I'm on my second one. I got one from Mother's Day from Ellis. I love it. It's on my cheeks. This is why they're glowing today because of Ellis. So there you go. And that is what we call subliminal selling. It's like, how can you do that how can you create that in your brand and in your content, but without shoving it down someone's throat that you're a Scentsy consultant? And some of your reels or your posts that you do on social media, they don't even have to have a mention of the word Scentsy in them, but you can find ways that there are certain things for me that have absolutely nothing to do with Scentsy whatsoever. Me talking about having 0 miles of petrol, nothing to do with Scentsy whatsoever. There was not a mention of it, and actually they're the ones that get the most engagement. But then let me tell you what happens when you start to make those connections with people. Your story views will double. How many of you this week have checked when you've been posting more content that your story views have gone up? Because my story views have gone up 4 times. They're 4 times as big. So I've gone from probably having 100 to 200 people view my stories to this week, one of my story, the first story I posted yesterday got just under 500 views. That means 500 people clicked on my account to view. And if that had been in that story, you need to buy this wax bar, because that means that 500 potential customers would have seen that wax bar in my stories. And that has purely been because of that I'm making more reels. I'm creating more content. I am showing up consistently. That's the only reason. And I'm not getting loads of new followers a day. I really need to stress this. Just even in the last week, I've probably had as many new followers as I've had leave my account. I want that to sink in. I've had as many people follow me as have as many people unfollowed me. Okay, but that's okay. It's okay to lose followers, because it means that you're creating content is not for them. We're creating content for somebody completely different. That's okay. You probably will find that. Okay. So if you do see that, don't be, but as I say, you probably will see the more consistent you are with Instagram and Facebook, the more your story views will go up. And that's why it's important to be using your stories as well as posting on your grid or posting on your Facebook page, your personal Facebook page. I know that's a really scary place, but your personal Facebook page. Okay. So I'm going to talk to you about 4 different ways that you can create content. And this is going to be brilliant for your customer groups, your business page. This is for everything, okay? So the first one is to give education and value. So that's the first point you like to write down. In your posts, as you plan out your week, because we all plan our social media, don't we? No, I don't. Mine's very off the cuff. But I want you to start to think about, are my posts giving education and value? So by education, if we go down the Scentsy realm, for example, education could be how to do a wax change, how to put a mini warmer together, how to put a fragrance bottle together. And I'm sure lots of you do videos for these type of things. Or are you just saying, buy a wax bar? So buy a wax bar, no value, no education, no content. This wax bar, these cubes, you get 8 cubes in a bar of wax. This particular wax is absolutely frigging insane. It's so strong. It's called Kahiko Hula. It's really old and it is amazing. It smells to die for. However, what's really important is you're going to get 8 cubes. 8 cubes means you're going to get almost 10 hours. Can you see where I'm going with this? The difference between buy a wax bar and this is 8 cubes of wax, you're going to get 80 hours minimum. We're now educating them on the fact that the bar is insanely good. And we're also educating them on the actual bar itself, you know, like how many hours they might get out of the cube. So ask yourself, are you educating people from the realm of Scentsy? If we're talking about from the realm of your niche, because some of you have now flipped and you're making more content towards your niche, for example, fitness for me, am I giving any education or value? Today, I created a reel specifically that gave value. That reel was making some egg muffins, okay? Making egg muffins. That was the value. How do I know it gave value? 5 people saved it. I don't know whether that was all of you guys. I don't know who it was, but 5 people hit the save button, which is more than any other reel that I've had in the last week. So it means that people want to go back to that and they want to recreate it. That's what we're aiming to get people to do. So think about the content that you're making and be like, okay, is it either, it might not be educational and value at the same time. If you do get that, more than likely you're going to get something that goes viral. But what you do want is am I giving either or? So is there education in what I'm posting? People have got to, they want to come to you that you're the expert, whether that's about, you're the expert about wax, whether you're the expert about teaching German, whether you're the expert about, you know, a haircut, or whether you're the expert about, I don't know, I'm trying to think of different things, but fitness or whatever it is, are you giving some kind of education? And then when you're actually selling a wax bar, especially in your customer groups, are you giving some kind of education post at least once a week? So, you know, tips about how to change your wax, tips about, you know, that in fact you need to wash your, I know a lot of us do like to wash your dishes. You could turn that into a reel. Like that could be a very simple, you doing the washing up, washing all of your warmer dishes, and then do a voiceover over the top telling people why it's really important to wash out their Scentsy dishes. And if they're still using candles, this is the perfect opportunity to change because they're going to get a better experience. And again, it's educational. It's something that you can then tag your customers in at some point. So I've got a video pinned to the top of my customer group, which is how to put together a mini warmer. And when customers buy a mini warmer, I send them that video, or sometimes I will tag them in it. And what that does is it then literally it pushes that piece of content to the top of my customer group. Can you do a voiceover which isn't relevant? Yeah, even more so. That is more important, Sarah. If you do, so your voiceover doesn't have to be relevant to the washing of the dishes at all. In fact, you're going to keep people's attention if you tell a story. For example, it might be that your kids have said something really funny that day, or maybe I retell the story of the fact that I drive around today, for example. You'd think I'd learn my lesson after my reel. Me and Ellis are in the car on the way back. As we come into Wickford, I went, by the way, my zero petrol light is about to come on. On it goes again, there's that magic beeping sound. And he was like, for God's sake, Mum, like, you'd think you'd learnt your lesson. I was like, no, come on, we went to the petrol garage and I put petrol in. I mean, so that, for example, would be a great story to talk over the top of you doing a voiceover of you changing your dishes, changing your wax and whatnot, of course. And you can put the value in the caption, and it will create, that's more likely to keep someone's attention than probably you giving a step-by-step guide of how you clean your dishes. But you could do both. You could use that bit of content, the video content, twice. Make one a story, the second one a actual tell them how to do the dishes. And then you know that that's on your Instagram. And if someone says to you, what do you mean? I never clean my dishes. Send them the reel. Does that make sense? Or you can tag them in the reel, for example. It's also a real great system for you guys when you're creating that type of content, because then you haven't got to keep voice noting people and saying, well, this is how you clean your dishes. This is how you put a videoing yourself putting together a fragrance flower. You've got that content there handy made that you can tag people in. And more than likely, I bet it will get you more sales. So that's the first one. Okay, the second type of content is unique perspective. So by unique perspective, it's your perspective. Okay, you're probably seeing these on Instagram all of the time at the moment. If you're scrolling through Instagram, let me just turn my volume down. So unique perspective is things like, let me just give you. So this girl is eating her sourdough and a smashed avocado, and it says, over here, minding my own business, loving life while the school mums think you do OF for a living. As in, like, I think that's supposed to be like a call for a living. That's just one example. It's like almost like the unique perspective is like your perspective, that's something that's happening in your brain. Point of view. Have you ever seen POV over the top of a reel? That means point of view. It's your point of view. And if you can make these quite controversial, you will get more views. I'm telling you that now. If you make them a little bit political and controversial. Let me just give you another one. This one, something nobody warned me about before I had kids is how hard it would be to convince my children to do my two favorite things, eat and sleep. That is a unique perspective. Okay, it's her perspective, and all she's doing is videoing herself literally feeding her children. So you could easily do things like that. You could video yourself changing your wax, for example, and then you could give a unique perspective linked to your particular target audience, busy mums or dog mums, people that love hats, or fitness people, or people that are on a weight loss journey. What's your unique perspective about something linked to your niche audience? Okay, so that's your unique perspective. The next one is transformation, and this is the hardest one for us to share, I think, as Scentsy consultants, because we're not like a hair care company or a skincare company where we can do like, here's my hair before I started using this product, and here's my hair after I started using this product. It's really, really difficult. And I said this to Jeanette. If you don't follow her, she's the Scentsy social media lady. She is amazing. Jeanette Greenfield, I think her surname is. She's on Instagram, and also you will see her in. She's just amazing. So transformation. She said to me, "Well, you could do loads of things with Scentsy." She said, like, one of the things that you could do is like here's my warmer. This could be like one of your pieces of content. You could definitely do this in your customer group. Here's my warmer. Here is my little mushroom right here. Let's just do Alexa, turn warmers on. Oh, she didn't work last week. Oh, Alexa, turn office warmers on. She's working this week. If any of you were in my team group, you know what I called her last week. However, if I then took this particular warmer, put it on a stand, put some greenery around it, what I would call elevated that warmer, and I'm not just talking about lifting it up. You literally could video like the before. Here's my warmer before I do any of these things with it. Here's the after. Here's how to style your warmer. This was an idea of mine that I want to run with, and I haven't quite got around to executing it. And I put it to my customers. I said, how would you like it if I did a Zoom once a month that you could come to and you could invite your friends to? Technically, it's a party, but it's not a party. I didn't tell them that. And I said, I would show you different ways to style your warmers and your diffusers in your home. Would you like that? Oh, they all went mad for it. They were like, oh my God, yes. I'd love to know like where you buy the little risers from. I mean, I sent one customer a link to some Amazon risers, and I set up an Amazon affiliate associates account. So if you're sharing a lot of Amazon links, guys, you need to get involved in this and just do it. You don't earn a great deal from it, but it's worth doing. Set yourself up an Amazon associates account. I think you've only got to make 3 sales where people actually click the link and check out to keep the account. And one of my customers went on and bought the little risers that I sent her. And I could see that because it comes up in my affiliate account and it shows me what she's bought. Really bizarre because it shows you other things that people have bought, which is always a bit concerning if, like, say, something dodgy came up in their purchase history. But you can see. So, for example, I now know that there's a need for that. And I was thinking, how great would that be to do it as a subliminal selling party where you're showing different warmers, how to elevate different warmers, talking about different types of wax that suit different types of mood. But then you could do this within your content as well. So if you're looking for transformations, that's one way you could do a transformation. If you have a niche audience where you're working towards weight loss or a weight loss goal, for example, you definitely can give a transformation. Emma, I know you've done some brilliant transformation stuff. I've seen it on your Instagram. So it definitely you can do both. You know, it could be, Katie, I'd love to see the transformation of this piece of material into this hat. Like that for me, I would watch that. I'd be like all over that, by the way, like behind the scenes. So just giving you a few ideas. So you think about that and think, okay, it may well be that you might find that transformation a little bit harder. So therefore, that is a really good place to bring your Scentsy content and your home content into your Instagram and certainly in your customer groups. That is gold for your customer group. Okay, because in my opinion, you want your customer group to become a place that is not just all about being sold that single wax bar. Because realistically, that's what makes people stop coming to your group. It really is. Like, I've started sharing things like I shared Sunbum face mist cream. What do you call it? Factor 50. I got it when we went to Orlando, the Sunbum face mist. And I shared that in my customer group with like a link to where you could buy it. And I said, because you love fragrance, guys, if you have not bought this is the best like fragrance mist for your face that's got a 45 protection and it smells amazing. I've started sharing things like my favorite perfumes. I'm doing it all the time, but I'm not just talking about wax and I'm not just talking about Scentsy products. It creates trust with your customers. They start to trust you because you're talking about fragrance on a bigger and a higher level. You become the expert. And I'm definitely not an expert in like perfumes or sun cream or anything of it. But my nose is an expert. Like I know what smells good. I know what I like. I know what my customers like. Okay, and then the very last like realm is storytelling. Let me just let my dog in, guys, and I just need to breathe for a minute. So I feel like I'm talking very fast. You come. Sorry, he's like tapping at the door. It's like storytelling. Okay, so there's 2 different ways you can storytell, and I think this is like a huge way to go with for us, right? Storytelling for us is so important because we sell emotions and feelings. Okay, we are not selling a transformation. We are sort of, but the transformation for us is instant gratification, right? Because we can put a wax bar in a warmer and within 5 minutes, they are going to get feelings, emotions, and all of those feelings, okay? So there's two types of storytelling I want you to work on. One is your story. And this is hard, okay? This is not easy to do. And I am going to set you a little challenge this week to create a carousel post, which basically means 10 still pictures that you're going to choose. And on each of those pictures, I did it on just straight onto my Instagram, because all of the tools that you need are there. You literally just need to know what your 10 pictures are going to use. And I walked through my story before I joined Scentsy. I want you to think about, who was you before you joined Scentsy? And if you're brand new to Scentsy, then who was you literally before you joined last week? So for me, let me just give you, this is mine. I'm going to read you mine because mine's actually on my Instagram, okay? So I've never dreamed of selling wax melts, but somehow it helped me rebuild my life and create a career I love. My name is Lisa. I'm a mum of 3 boys, 40 plus, and a scaff wifey to Michael, my bestie and soulmate. Don't tell him. Don't tell him that. I had a degree. That should say I have a degree. I have a degree, was a PE teacher, and I love my job. But deep down, I always had this little spark, a secret dream of being my own boss. From fitness classes to a healthy eating program, I dabbled, but nothing quite stuck. So there is a picture of me there, like in my old PE teacher job with dark hair, by the way, if you haven't seen that. I look about 5. But then life got hard. I was pregnant when we found out that my dad had terminal cancer. That year changed everything for me. I made the tough decision to drop my responsibilities and work part-time. I didn't want to chase promotions anymore. I wanted to live more, be present, and watch my last baby grow up. And then one day I got chatting to a girl. We all recognise the girl on the internet, right? I got chatting to a girl I met on the internet. She dropped Scentsy into the convo like candles, she said. Could I do this? Run through my mind. And on a whim, I just signed up. No research, just a gut feeling. 4 days later, my world almost stopped. My dad passed away age 59. Grief hit me hard, and I knew nothing but work. So I threw myself into my tiny business. It gave me a reason to just try. Wax and warmers wasn't the dream, but finding the joy and my sparkle was, and some extra cash was a bonus. I walked away from drama, toxic relationships, and I built something that felt good for me and my family. Friendships, connection, and a purpose. I prioritised time over titles. I said yes to athletics meets and assemblies and spontaneous travel, and slowly let teaching go. I've been out of the classroom for over 3.5 years now. I still get to teach, just a little differently. I mentor incredible women who want more from life. I coach busy mums to build their own side hustles just like I did. So no, selling wax wasn't the dream, but freedom, joy, and healing, plus helping busy women simply fragrance their home and build a side hustle with my jam. Not to mention the development and work I've done on myself. DM me, tell me more if you're craving something for you, or just follow along and I will share it all. So that was my story, right, in a nutshell. As you can see, not everyone is going to have a story. I get it. But I want you to write down, or if it helps, put it into ChatGPT, because that's what I did. I wrote a long paragraph with no breathers and nothing into ChatGPT, and I thought about, who was I before I joined Scentsy? So, and it may well be that you say to me, well, Lisa, I'm actually the same person before I joined Scentsy. I'm doing exactly the same, doing the same job. I'm, still a busy mum. I'm doing all of those things. But at what point did Scentsy fall into your life, and what made you want to pursue it? That's where we want to try and get that across in the story. I don't want you just to start with, my name is Lisa and I joined Scentsy. I want you to tell us about the person who is behind the Scentsy consultant. I want you to tell your story. And it could be as deep as you like. If you want to get vulnerable, mine was pretty vulnerable. It felt like therapy. I'm not going to lie, putting that out there onto the internet. And I also wrote a very similar story as I'm pivoting about my fitness journey, which you guys can read. I'm not going to read it all out to you, but my fitness journey is on there now as well. And it's just given me, like, now my story's out there, I feel that I can make content around my story. People are getting to know me a little bit more. And those carousel posts get so many views because people are on them for a long time. And the more somebody is holding their concentration, I suppose, on your profile in one place, the more Instagram or Facebook are going to show your post to people. So that's just something to think about. So be brave. I want you to create your own. As I say, all I did was chose the images I wanted, got the story on ChatGPT, didn't take me very long, asked it to put it into a carousel post, like snippets, and it did it all for me. And then I just tweaked it to make it sound more me, if that makes sense. ChatGPT did the hard work for me, really. It's very, very clever. So that's the first way. I want you to think about telling a story. Okay, never easy, but and if you can, put it as you can pin it at the top of your Instagram, or you can pin it at the top of your Facebook as well. Did you know that you can do that? And you have more than one Instagram account, if you know, you can there, but I would recommend just having one. Unless you want to talk about something like that's completely nothing to do with Scentsy, obviously. But yeah, you can. I've got a few. You literally can just flick between them at the bottom. You press the little thing, and to be fair, one of my accounts is not actually active. My Dexter account isn't active at the moment. And I've got another account that's there with no name. I don't know why. That's my account. So yes, I've made multiple accounts. So that's the first way you can tell your story. The other way you can tell stories is actual product related stories. So this is where I'm going to talk about selling Scentsy, okay, within your brand. How products make you feel, or telling somebody else's story that has had success in our business. These are what we call they're the attraction marketing posts. And I'm trying to tell stories a little bit more in my emails that I write to customers, because I've noticed if you go and look at some big brands that email you, or you go onto their websites, not every post is like sell, sell, sell. Sometimes it will be like how Carol used a product which transformed her life. And this is where I feel like a lot of us do I use this product and this is what happened to me. But this is where you could use customer stories. This is where you could use your own story. What happened? I often talk about when I first ever warmed Pink Haze and how it made me feel. I need to dig out a bar, actually. I'm going to send Holly Baker a bar because it was her first ever bar, the same as my first ever bar, Pink Haze. And I'm going to take her a bar, actually, when we go to Greece and be like, this is for you. Because she put a little warmer on with Pink Haze the other day. And I was like, that's Pink Haze, isn't it? And she said, yeah. She was like, it reminds me of Scentsy. So it may well be that you learn or teach yourself to tell stories within your sales posts. I don't know if I've got one that I could probably bring you. This is more Facebook customer group stuff than what I would call Scentsy. Bear with me, people. I feel like it's been a little bit salesy lately. I'm due to tell a story. Hold on, well, just give me a minute. Shimmer. Who got the keys to my Shimmer? I have got a story. Probably got well, this tells you that I definitely need to. Oh, here we go. Something old and something new. Tonight I am warming these two absolutely beautiful bars. Shimmer literally fills me with nostalgia. Every whiff takes me back to my dad passing. And joining Scentsy and Christmas, believe it or not. I love this bar. It's probably my favourite, even more so than Kiwi. Rhubarb and lemon is brand new and super, super strong. The lemon isn't as strong as the rhubarb combo, but it's the perfect kitchen scent. Now, there isn't much of a story to that, but just that little nod to the nostalgia, great word, nostalgia, is almost telling a story. It could be that once a week you tell a story about a product that you love and why you love it, and you get deeper than just this bar smells amazing, because that's where the connections are going to come with your customers. And you could put them, these make really, really good stories on your Instagram, on your Facebook stories, to almost have like a couple of slides that you would flick through talking about the feelings linked to different products, different bars, different, for me, as I say, like talking about Shimmer like that, it was something I might post, for example. I have posted and I can't find it. It's something along the lines of, when I very first joined Scentsy, I opened my box and I remember vividly taking 3 bars out of that box. The 3 bars were Vanilla Bean Buttercream, which is still available, Shimmer, which is still available, and Pink Haze, which unfortunately is discontinued, but don't worry, people, I put it on my Scentsy Club. I remember distinctly opening that box and thinking, what the hell have I bought? Because I'd never warmed any Scentsy in my life. That was the first thing. And as I put that first bar on, it literally transports me back to that time. I can remember what I was doing. And this is, if I start to then tell that and I say, as the shimmer cubes literally melted in my warmer, I remember sitting in my lounge, looking at that little warmer on my cabinet and thinking, wow, this is better than any candle I have ever warmed. And I remember looking at Mike and saying to him, I am so excited about this. I am so excited about this. This is good. People are going to buy this. I had no idea that it would change my life, like no idea. But I literally can go back to those moments and describe the notes in there. I could describe the actual parts of the bar. For those of you that, if there's anyone never warmed shimmer, how many of you are thinking right now, I think I need to warm that bar, like, or maybe I've not warmed it for a little while. I need to go and dig out and see if I've got a bar of shimmer. Or maybe there's some of you that are thinking, I bloody hate shimmer, Lisa, but you're making me want to warm it. You know, there's a story there. I could even talk about the story of Jammy Time and how, for those of you that were at SFR in Manchester, and I think, Sarah, you remember this, and we had these, we did the art of selling fragrance training, and we got given this bar, and I opened it up, I took a big honk of it, honked it back, and I was like, oh my god, that's bloody disgusting. And everyone was like, oh my god, what? And I was like, guess what bar it is? And people knew that it was Jammy Time, because I remember Laura saying, I love Jammy Time, I love it. And I was like, let's warm this, because everyone keeps going on about it, and I don't think I like it. And I literally put it in my warmers, and I rang her and I went, that is the most disgusting vile bar I've ever smelled. And I threw the cubes out of my bin, and they're in my bin. And I will never warm that again, ever. Like, that is headache material. It's disgusting. And that story has been told many a times. But my customers, they know that. They resonate with that story. They think it causes this whole divide of, oh my god, I can't believe you don't like Jammy Time. Oh my god, what, we love Jammy Time. Oh, I'm with you, Lisa. I can see Emma's face was like, absolutely not. I hate Jammy Time. So it's a real dividing sense. But again, it creates connection. I told a story. It's my unique perspective. And I'm subliminally selling. Some people will go and buy Jammy Time because I've just reminded them how much I hate it, but they love it. So can you see where you've got these 4 different types of content? So it's telling your story, but also telling a story about a product or something within your niche umbrella. Giving education and value, unique perspectives, and transformation. Sometimes I get caught up in the consultant job and duty of trying all new things. Yeah. And every now and then I'm back to the OGs, my personal favourites. Yeah, exactly. And this is where our job in terms of the actual selling Scentsy, guys, it's so much more than just posting a wax bar. And I can guarantee you, if you change your post for 1 week, so say you do 5 posts in your customer group a day, I challenge you to go down to 2 or 3 and make them 3 really quality posts where you tell a story about the products. I am telling you now, you will sell more. You will sell more, because the amount of times that I would say things like this bar, and actually when I go live and talk about a bar and actually stick my nose in a bar and give my real unique perspective, that's when I sell more. That's when the content lands. Okay. I don't go live enough. I feel like I should be doing that more. I also feel like if those of you are like, well, I want to bring Scentsy, I'm not posting anything about Scentsy on my Instagram account in a minute, then do 1 reel a week where you literally have your camera and you're going to talk to your camera, you're going to video yourself talking about 6, and you're going to do a live whiff of 6 fragrances. And your hook is something really simple, like 6 fragrances I have used, or 6 scents I have used in my home this week. And it becomes a series. You're going to do that every week. Every week on your Instagram, you're literally going to set your phone up, video yourself. If you've got your new ring light, then you can use that. You can mine didn't come yet, so I haven't got that. But you're going to set your camera up and you're just going to talk to the camera about your favorite 6 products that you have used this week and upload it as a reel. You can go live. If you don't want to do that, go live on Instagram. Go live on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook profile, not your customer group. We're talking, this is using Instagram or your personal profile. Just pick 6. And if I tell you what Lisa Roberry that works really well, she has a basket in her office, and she said every time she uses a product and it gets empty, she puts that empty product in her basket, and then once a week she will do a whole blog on like all the products that she has used this week in her home. Because there's a few things that will work there. Number 1, you're directly selling to people. Number 2, you're actually physically sharing with people what you're warming, what you're using. Number 3, it's going to make you use more products, because some of you probably don't use enough products. That's me being honest. Okay. And number 4, if you are using lots of product, you're probably using lots of product, but not taking pictures or videos of you using it. That could be me sometimes, unless I do a full wax change. So all these things will help you. That will help you to sell more Scentsy, 100%. And if you actually make that video, you can repurpose it everywhere. You can post it on your public profile. You can post it on your personal profile. You can post it in your customer group. You can post it on your business page. You can upload it in your stories. You can upload it on your TikTok if you want to. It doesn't matter. You can put it everywhere. It's that just creating the content over and over again. But you also need to be able to do similar things that's not all about Scentsy. So I know it's a lot to think about. I'm giving you it's overwhelming, right? Because I'm like, don't just do it for Scentsy, but do it for Scentsy. Think about your niche, but don't think about you. This is where we've got to find that balance. And for me, it's like for Instagram, one really good quality Scentsy post a week, and the rest is going to be sprinkled into my content. It's subliminally sold. And then our stories, sell, guys. In your stories, share everything you're using. Share or talk to the camera. Tell them what you love. Okay? Do a talking story. Where I don't think Jade's on here, but Jade Luxford, she does the most amazing talking stories about what Scentsy she is using and what she is loving. How many of you have done a talking story on your Instagram or Facebook this week? Talking about a Scentsy product that you love and that you're using. Just comment yes or no. In your stories. Just in your stories. You're not the only one, Em. You won't be the only one. No. Okay, so in your stories, this is the challenge this week. Add this to your list. In your stories, Claire, you don't need to. You literally, let me tell you how to do it. You're going to click on your little plus if you're doing it Instagram. Click on your camera. And then at the side, you've got these little tools at the side. Click on the little arrow at the bottom and it will come up with a little sign that says hands-free. As yours fixed itself, Sarah, mine seems to have fixed itself now. When you click on hands-free, it will change your circle at the bottom to have a red dot in it. Now, when you record, you can literally press that, and that is now recording me, and I've got my hands free. So it means that you can press that and you can lean your phone up against something and talk to your camera really simply, like we're doing right now. So it could be, oh look, it's not actually working now. There was me saying it's fixed. Mine won't turn off, so it means I've got to talk for the whole minute. Okay, that's all I do. Or I video it on my phone and I upload it on my stories. You can do it both. No, that's not live. That's just literally a story. It's just a talking story. But I want you to start having a go at getting your little face talking to your story. For those of you that have never done that before, your story views will increase naturally, because all of a sudden your followers are going to be like, oh, I've not seen her talking about this before. I've not seen her doing a talking story before. I've not seen Sue talking to me. Let me listen. They're going to want to know what you've got to say, because probably 90% of who follow you on Instagram at the moment are friends and family. And that's the starting point. And you just got to pretend that you're talking to yourself. Yeah, you can add captions too. There's like a little sticker along the bottom that says captions. This is a great thing to do for your reels if you're talking or voiceovering, and for your stories, purely because how many of you flick through stories when your kids are laying next to you trying to go to sleep, or you're watching TV and you don't want to have it on too loud because your husband, like mine, goes, will you turn that down? So I literally put it on silent mode, and if someone's talking to me and they haven't got captions on, I can't hear it. So I normally would flick to the next story. I always use captions because I'm deaf, and a friend commented and thanked me for the captions. I love that there. So you can edit before, Kelly, you can add stickers to it. You can, I do all sorts. I normally watch it back and see like, so when, let's just do a quick whistle stop tour of stories, okay? When you upload a story, let me just do it in a video. Right, I'm just gonna, this is my foot from today with my new shoes, okay? So I videoed those today. Across the top, you've got lots of little settings. Can you see all these across the top? If you go to the one that looks like a square with a smiley face in it, that is stickers. So you can add things, you can add all sorts in there. Captions, so if I was talking, I can click on captions and it will transcribe my audio. And there is, oh look, there is audio on this one. So I'll put, how cute is this? So now you can see what I have said. It doesn't always get the talking completely right. I'm not gonna lie, like I've had some dodgy words pop up on my, but it's quite funny. You can edit them, but I don't bother. I just literally throw it on captions. So that's one thing you can do. You can add music to your talking stories. You can add these little slider buttons are cool. So I could put this up and I can add a question in here like, what do you think of these? Do you like these? And hopefully people will slide across and tell me they like it. Now, these stickers, these are what they call, Instagram calls them engagement stickers. The more of these you can get people using, the more views your stories will get. So the things that will get most views will be the little slider that I've just put on there, so that's working. Hold on. What else can we have? A poll. So a poll looks like this, and you can put like, do you like them? Would you wear them? Not for me, for you, whatever you want to put in there, really. What else can we have? Oh, there's all sorts. You need to play about with this, guys. You can add a link. You can add hashtags. You can obviously mention people, add music. If you scroll down, you can look, these are all stickers and things that you can add, things that move. You can search. So say I wanted a laughing face. Laughing. I can type in laughing at the top, and I can scroll down and I can pick any of the above. What else did you want to know about stories? Ask me any questions about stories. Snapchat has sensor stickers too. Yeah, it does. They've also got filters. So for example, if that was your face and you wanted a filter on it, if you swipe left and right, you can change the color filter. So for example, if you're not feeling like your skin today, or you want to add, you can also add an actual filter along the bottom. I've got lots of filters saved, and these have been where you can find them. You will have certain ones in your Instagram, but for example, let's forget the whistle stop to us, guys. I do apologize. Not a lot of people use them anymore. I'll be completely honest. Be brave and go like filter free, but you can, as you do like a talking story, you can click filters and you can add a filter to your face so that you look like you've got better color skin, or there's so many different things that you can do. The main thing though, what I want you to do is get used to using that little hands-free button. If that doesn't work for you, then just make a video and just upload it, because that doesn't work for me always. The video can't be any longer than 60 seconds though. And just get used to talking to your camera. Just get used to talking to your phone, like as if you were live, and saying like, oh, what about this particular wax? I absolutely love it. Or telling a story. If your kids have done something funny that day, or maybe you went into work and you fell over, tell the story, okay? Tell the story, talk to people, because that's where your connections get made. And your stories, for most of you guys, like me, is where your sales are going to happen right now. Like, I'll be completely honest, like, I've not made any sales through any of my reels on Instagram. And hopefully that lands with you. But I am making sales in my stories. I am connecting with people in my stories. So I quite often I find because my Instagram and my Facebook are connected, I actually make more sales in my messenger. But it's because most of my audience are older and they're my age, so therefore they're viewing it in Facebook. So I upload it in Instagram and then I've linked the two together, and most people are jumping into my messenger, which is brilliant because in turn they're seeing more of my Facebook as well. So it's all connected, guys. It's all connected. Right. I feel like I've given you quite a lot to think about this week. Was that everything I wanted to? I feel like that's a lot. Has anyone got any questions? I'm going to stop the recording and then you feel free to, hold on, let me just stop